Maayong adlaw.
Welcome to the PodPointe.
Season 3! A blessed Sunday to everyone. Today is episode 2 of season 3 of the PodPointe.
Yay!
It still is the month of February, of course, the love month. Oh, I still feel the love in the air. And joining with me here today, looking so dashing.
Thank you.
Nag-thank you pa, wala pang introduction.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody, JR!
Back. Hello po. My name is JR. Hello po.
And yes, we have invited one special friend. Hindi siya guest. Bitaw. A very special friend and looking so beautiful today.
Yes.
Welcome to the PodPointe,
Yay.
Grace.
Hi everyone! It's me!
It's you. It's us. We are just so... Dapat mataas yung energy.
Energy, guys.
Uh-huh.
Yes, energy.
Energy.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yes, let's
Because
do it.
it's love.
Of course.
Yeah.
Makarelate din si Grace, ano eh.
Ikaw, Jude!
Sige, go. Well, there's a reason why Grace is in here.
Yes.
And we just want to share that Grace, together with one of our church member here by the name of Joseph. Hi, Joseph.
Hi, Joe.
If you're watching.
Hi, Joseph.
Yes, so the three of us went to IT Park Cebu. That was 2 Sundays ago. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
Saturday.
ago, Saturday.
Saturday.
Mm.
Right. And, we were there because we would want to promote, of course, the PodPointe, our podcast ministry. But at the same time, we would wanted to interview people about their thoughts regarding love. Because it's February. Yeah. So I wanna ask Grace on how's your experience doing the interview? Was it difficult or was it something new to you? So share to us your experience in behalf of Joseph.
So, on behalf of Joseph, joke. Actually, 2 Saturdays ago, like you said, we went to IT Park together with Ate, Janine, and we interviewed people about love. Honestly, before we went there, it was full of energy, it's just easy. It's just getting people, interview them.
I agree on that, Grace. You told me about it.
Honestly, when we started, it was a little it started off good because the first person we saw was super game, and then after that people started giving no, and I even approached someone at the mall, and before I even talked to the person gave me the fist, and I was like, okay. So, but I mean, it was still fun. There were some people who were super game for it, and we found super young bloods. We found old love.
With a smile.
It was super killing, promise. But it was really enjoyable, and also it was. Should I say a learning experience? Yeah. So I think
It is.
that's what I think about
Yeah.
that Saturday.
Well, yeah, so what we did, just so they would know how the process was that we give them the first question
Yes.
to the first interviewer. Did I say it right? Interviewer. The first person we've asked.
Yes.
Yeah, and then afterwards, we also ask them if they have a question that they want to ask regarding love, and that question that they brought up will be asked to the second person that we will be interviewing. So that's how it's a chain of questions that they did, and these questions we have gathered them, and we would try to answer them.
Try.
Yeah, we would try because we're not an expert
Disclaimer,
about
disclaimer, guys.
disclaimer.
I agree.
All the single ladies right now. So yeah, we're not an expert of love, but of
Yes.
course we are under the banner of God's love. So
Mm.
we
Still
definitely
recipients of the love.
yeah, and recipients. Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Thank you for that. Yeah. So hopefully, God would be able to give us the wisdom and how we can be able to
Amen.
answer their question. So let's start with the very first question that we have, in
Okay.
which that is the question that we formulated for the
Yes.
first person that we've asked. Yes. Go ahead, Grace.
So the first question we asked was, do you believe true love exists?
Ka-heavy na nga first question. eh.
Wow, heavy.
Kalisod na sa dani ko.
For
ano,
you,
eh.
ha?
Okay. How lisod it is for JR.
Okay. Mhm.
Bitaw. So, yes. So, go, JR.
I think, personally for me, I do believe true love exists because just like our devotionals earlier, no, in Lamentations chapter 3, it says that God, the Lord is my portion, the Lord is our portion, and then part of which is to have God with us, and then His mercies, His love is are new every morning. So I think true love exists beyond heavenly love or earthly love.
Yeah.
I think it supersedes this definition of humanly love,
Yeah.
and that's from. How about you, Grace?
Okay.
Gisugdan og super ka ng kuan ba formal nga.
I mean, because my future husband might be watching this, you know, so I believe true love exists.
Shout out.
Shout out to you, wherever you are, whoever you might be. Okay. For me, I also believe like true love exists. The
Yes.
Songs of Solomon 3 verse 4 says, "I have found the one whom my soul loves." Like, for the Bible to talk about love in that context, it's like a testament that yeah, true love exists because it's not just a superficial kind of love,
Yeah.
and even the greatest example of that true love is the sacrifice that God made by when Jesus died for us on the cross of
Mm.
Calvary. I think that's like one of the truest love we'll ever encounter in life. But also, you know, the love, like February love. I think it
The
exists.
romantic love.
Yes, because we can see we've seen people around us, they have like a very good marriage. We look at them and we're like, oh, okay, one day I'm also gonna have this kind of love. So I really believe like true love exists.
Exactly. And I
Agree.
I also agree. Yeah, that's a yes for me. Definitely growing up, there's always this feeling that love is such a wonderful thing. Maybe I got it from my parents growing up and from the people around me. And at the same time, when I get to know who Christ truly is, that's where, oh yes, definitely, God is love, and we are able to love because He first loved us.
Yes.
That's my like one of my favorite verses in the Bible. There's a little cheat sheet here. 1 John chapter 4, verse 19. We love because God first loved us. Yeah, so that's it for the first question. Now let's move on. This is the question that
We're asked.
we're asked by the people we interviewed.
So the second question says, how do you know when the person you find is the true one? Okay, I think we're gonna go to JR.
The rose among the thorns. Bitaw. Sige, go JR. How would you know if she's the one? Or for those also ladies,
How would you know that is the one?
if he's the one. Yeah, go.
Siguro if first of all, the person loves the Lord. I think that's the number one requirement, 'cause especially that was passed down from my parents. And if ever you want to be with someone who actually is your true love, the person should be, or the person should love the Lord first. One of the way the person should prioritize is first is God, then the family, and then the love. I think because like, going back to your favorite verse, Ate, we were able to love because God loved us first, and then prioritizing God over all. I think is the best definition of knowing that the person is the one you truly love.
Yeah. Go, Grace.
I think how do you know if the person is true love or if the person is the one for you or the one that you probably might get married to? I think you wouldn't know if it's love if you don't love God. If the person doesn't love God, how can you really tell that that person is the one? Or if you yourself don't love God, how can you tell? Because in the first place, you have to experience that love from God before you can really tell, like, oh, okay. Because love is sacrificial. So, and God already gave that vivid example to us. So,
John
if
3:16.
yeah, exactly. If it didn't do that, the God, I just know that God is really a perfect example of how we should know if that person is for us, because he gave example of everything, like what he did, sacrificial, understanding. He gave every of the criteria for us. And you know, I always tell people when they ask me like, oh, okay, what do you want in a man? I always say, I want a guy who is gonna serve God with me. I want someone who we're gonna worship together. So if that person is not someone who loves God, how can we do those things together? So
Yeah. Very well said.
future husband.
Shout out.
Yeah, because I think we have just to like reiterate or put emphasis on how important it is that yes, there is attraction.
Yeah.
And yes, we would love someone that who shares the same kind of like things we like. Also, there might be a little opposites and so or maybe a lot, but the attraction is there as what I've mentioned. But I think the most important thing is when we want to enter in a relationship, again, we have in mind that I don't know if you agree with this, but we want to date someone and then it's instilled in our mind that we want to marry, of course, this person in the long run. And because of that, we wanted to have put the value of making sure that what I believe, he also believes. The faith that I have, that's the faith that he has also.
Because as Christians, we should date to marry.
Yes.
Diba?
Okay.
Diba?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
this is one thing that we have to echo over and over again,
Yes.
especially for the generation
Yes.
today, because marriage is something that for them is either a scary thing or not a real thing. Yeah. But, diba suddenly may, but I tell you it's real. It just totally needs a lot of effort, but above it all, it really is loving God.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a great conclusion lang.
Sum up.
True.
Yes.
Diba?
I'd like you to throw the third question, JR.
So the third question is, when was the first time you said I love you to the person you're with?
Oh, I like
The-
this question. Yeah, because I believe for the Filipinos, it's not that like even for your mom and for your siblings, it's rare that you get to say I love you to them. Yeah, and yeah, I just want to share that. So who's okay? I'm gonna answer first
Okay,
since I
okay,
was the
go
one
ate.
bubbling in here. Okay. Yeah, I think it's always gonna be my mom. So it's always no. I hope it would change soon, Charot.
Oh,
No, just kidding, Mom.
celebrate.
Shout out future.
Shout out future.
There's a lot of future husbands who are really shouted out to. Okay.
Bitaw ay. Yeah, I think it's my mom. Yeah, so it's my mom because usually like we just do random I love yous like before um going to sleep. Like I love you, mom. Bye. Yeah. So it's my mom for me.
So I'd like to rephrase the question a little bit lang, so we could.
I'm my rephrasing. Okay, go.
Go.
I think it's not the first time
Mm.
when you said I love you, but how often do you say I love you?
Get.
I think it's very rare. Like Ate Janine said, no. People are like, especially men, like boys.
Oy, okay. Garan ko ani kay nas JR din here. Sige, go.
Pero realistically speaking, no, men tend to
Not say it.
not show it through words, but rather show it through actions.
Actions.
Yes. And then so still it doesn't negate the fact that I love you is still an I love you.
Yeah.
It's still an expression that needs to be expressed.
I think personally for us girls, I always like that I would hear that word.
True.
Yeah, but I also want to see it and receive
True,
action
true.
because of it. But it's also like I don't know. It has that romance kind of feels.
Especially if your love language is words of affirmation.
What's the problem? Yeah,
Correct.
same.
Yeah.
I can't. Like you really have to tell me.
You really have. Oh come on, the feature. Tell her.
Shout out.
Shout out again. Hi.
But
for
I like
me-
how JR rephrased it
Refresh
because
that
again.
phone. I
Yeah,
absolutely
but
say that.
JR,
Oh,
now that you
true.
know that girls, personally, we would really want to be able to hear it. So, will you plan to change it and say it a few times?
Of course, eh? Of course.
Of course.
Because saying I love you is so sentimental for me. And then it's not
sentimental.
an insignificant thing. It's very significant
True.
for me because it
It's
shows that
full
I
of-
care for you. It shows that
True.
I trust you.
It's
Yeah.
like everything.
Yeah, it's everything, right?
Yeah.
And then being able to express it like to people that truly matters for you.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
epitome of love, right?
All right.
Ikaw, Grace. How about you, Grace?
How often do I say I love you? I'm not sure how often, pero I think the last time, most of the time, will be my siblings call, video call, and then it's gonna be because the time difference is like kind of crazy. So I just tell them like, okay, love you, bye. I'm gonna sleep. Oh, that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
or and my mom also like if I wanna look for if I'm gonna ask favor from my mom. I always say that. I mean, it's not just empty. It's not empty. It's not.
Never.
It's not. I just feel like, please, love you. My mom's like, oh, what do you want?
Yeah.
Something in your
What do you want? But it's not empty, mom. I don't know if you watch this, but it's not empty. But I think often it's just something like I say out, like I'm single, exclusive. I'm single. So to my siblings, to my friends, even my friends. I say I love you to them because
Yeah.
for me, I
Same. We
like
said I
to
love you
give,
already, guys.
I like to give like the love language I give out. Most of the time it's like words of affirmation. So I even to my friends I say I love you.
True.
Even
True.
to like the clients like I work with my work. Like whenever I'm going on like bye guys, love you. It's just something like a very like you said, very sentimental and sincere because when you say it, you really have to mean it when you say
True.
you love them.
Yeah.
It's what we practice with my friends. I have like my best friends are like 3 people lang, and then we
Are they all guys?
yeah all guys, and then we constantly say whenever we meet or
Oh, really?
yeah
That's
we kind of practice that.
That sounds so cheesy, but
I
Yeah.
know.
I like,
but
but I affirm you guys for that.
same, honestly,
Yeah.
because it gives them the leverage. Like, oh, okay, yeah, if I can say that to my friends, what about like people much more important than the friends?
Parents or their loved ones.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, we do kind of practice that because it gives us a reassurance that, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not alone,
Yeah.
right? I have friends who actually loves me,
Yeah.
who effectively communicates with me,
Aw.
then are always there whenever I need them.
Yeah.
So it sends that kind of message lang to them.
That's really something
I
refreshing.
know,
Yeah.
right?
From the perspective of A, because
Guy.
girls, I think that wouldn't be really too
Yeah.
difficult
Problem
for
for
us to
guys.
say so,
Mm.
because once we care, and then we could just say like, yeah, hey, I love you, Grace, thanks for that, and so on. But for men, it's
Yeah.
like, but yeah,
I know.
It's a great practice, by the way.
true.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next question. You go, Grace.
Okay, so the next question says, how would you make your relationship last long? I think I have the perfect person to answer this question. It's gonna be JR.
But I also like want to put emphasis also like, if we are gonna be in a relationship, Grace,
Mm.
how should we
Make
make
it last long.
last long?
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually stop or end to a girlfriend boyfriend
Boyfriend
relationship
relationship,
or a husband and wife, but also
Friendship.
with your friendships and also your family.
True.
Yeah.
I think for me is s- I don't know how relationship would last long, but rather I know what are I know some things that are troubling interpersonal relationships.
That could
Mm.
break it.
Yes, and
Okay.
then one of which, like most of my clients, if ever they have like we do a mental health checkup, they always converse with me of how they weren't able to tell them about their expectations. So untold expectations are one of the greatest things that make the marriage or like make relationships bad and then
Yeah.
eventually go south. Untold expectations, because imagine if you actually told them or actually tell them what your expectations were. Let's say, for example, when you come home, like if you're in a marriage, if the husband came home from work, what are the things that the wife can do to help or like to alleviate some stress
Yeah.
from the husband, diba?
Yeah.
Can always tell the expectations to
True.
him or to the wife, diba? And then from there you can build a system, because I think marriage or like personally relationships are like a business. You have to make every facet work. Then one of which is
Facet. But
Go.
but I do understand it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
and then one of which is untold expectations. Right? I think it's very integral, despite how simple it is.
Yeah, and in addition to what you just said, I think that's where communication really is important.
True.
And when you say untold expectations, it's not really a demand, but rather you telling the person that you would really feel the love if you do
Mm.
this.
If you do this. Oh.
And it's not also something na, hey, you should do this and that. No, but I think it's very, how shall I say this? Well, it makes it more romantic that you can be able to
True.
tell things that this is the things that
Mm.
I want.
yeah, you like,
you to
and
do.
you would
Mm.
really feel love, and
Feel
this is something
that.
that also that makes you feel uncomfortable. I think it's really the communication.
It's still under effective communication,
Effective
right?
communication.
Yeah. I think that's where it falls because I watch my mom loves Showtime and Showtime has this
Yes,
especially
especially for you.
oh yeah,
I
so
saw that.
so I would hear stories also because of what she's watching, and a lot of times the problem of the couple is that they weren't able to express what they want, what they
want.
need, and again going back to how the culture of the Philippines is that as much as possible you really just want to like keep it in yourself, and you want to feel like okay, the other person should just try and make sure that he or she can read it, but girl, we can't read minds.
Mind
Yeah.
readers.
We're not mind readers, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, communication is the key.
True. I actually agree with.
Effective communication.
Yeah,
I think
effective.
we
That's
should
hard.
be
Yes.
clear on that
Effective.
part. Effective.
I agree with the Ate Janine and JR. Like, to make a relationship, I'm not in one, but I'm gonna try from different experiences I've had with my friends. Ha!
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
See, go.
I think, like you said, communication, and also I think respect.
True.
Even if the person knows what you want or what you need, what you like, if the person doesn't respect your opinion, so what you want, it's still not gonna work. So I think the communication should go along with respect.
Yeah.
You being respectful of what the person wants.
True.
I'm gonna take myself for example. Sometimes at work, I don't want to talk to anyone. Excuse me. Disclaimer: I'm not toxic. It's just probably because I just don't feel like, because I'm a talkative, and when I don't want to talk, people can easily tell like something is wrong with me. So when they ask me like, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" I just say like, "Oh, I don't want to talk. I just don't want to talk," and they really respect that. So I think respecting what you say out or what you need or what you request, I think that's one of like another way to make your relationship last.
True. Yeah. And also trust. Trust should always come in. And yeah. What else? There was something in my mind but I forgot. But anyway.
Okay.
That's it for now. Yeah. So are we in the last question?
We still have like
Three questions left.
Three questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what's the next question?
Okay, I'm gonna go. So, what are the challenges couples face, and how can they overcome them? So, this is like couples.
Yeah, and I think, Grace, as what I've told you earlier, it would be nice that we can be able to share one of the
Yes.
answers from the people that we have
Interviewed.
interviewed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
in relation to the interview, we're going to be posting it in our social media in the next few days. So just check out our social media page. Go
Yes.
to the PodPointe in Instagram and Facebook. So
And YouTube. YouTube as well.
yes, that's true. So go ahead, Grace.
We actually interviewed a couple, and they're actually older couple in the church. And one of the answers they gave was not even one, I think two. I'll try to remember. The first one was budgeting, and then the second one, I think it was communication. I'm not really sure. But the first one I remember, they said budgeting. Because they said they've had kids.
Financial struggles.
Yeah, financial struggles. They've had kids going to school. They have to plan because they have to pay tuition and all. And I think it's very practical. Like we said, date to marry.
Date to
So if we're not very wise with our budgeting, so it's, I think one of the things that makes marriage to, like, one of the things that puts strain on marriage is like the finance.
True.
Because imagine if you have to you have to come to a place whereby when you start having kids, you have to send them to school. That's
True.
like
Bills.
extra the bill. Honestly, I'm just an adult, and the bills are like, oh my gosh, is this real?
It's never gonna be like erased.
It's unending.
It will haunt you forever.
It's something that's gonna haunt you forever. So you can imagine getting married and having kids. It's not just you. It's you and your partner. It's you and your kids. And there's a lot of things to do.
To
So
consider.
to consider, exactly. There's housing. There's
It's
oh my
like a
gosh.
There's a
business,
lot.
Jud. It's like a business, Jud. Diba?
True.
It is a business.
So I think what they said, it's very
is like-
relevant. Budgeting. So we have they said one of, and how you can overcome that is by communication and understanding. And also I think for me, you have to also be transparent about
Yeah,
everything. I
true.
think transparency makes everything easier. Like what you said, it's like a business. In business, what's the goal of achieving like an accurate account? And I think it's transparency. If you're transparent with every of the ORs you have, every of the account, it makes the account much more easier, right? Because you can
True.
easily trace what's going on.
Exactly.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think transparency.
Ooh, I like what the word transparency. Yeah. And it comes with trust.
Yeah.
And really depending on each other.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's move on. Oh, okay. Do
You have something to say?
I think
Oh, we can.
Uh,
we we've covered naman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can go to the next question, Grace. Go, go, go. Oh, let's have
You wanna
JR
read?
to ask
Alright.
it.
What made her attractive to you?
This is JR's. What made her attractive to you, JR?
Yes, we want to know.
For me, personally, good is she loves the Lord more than she loves me.
Aw, attractive pala tayo, Grace.
Eh. True.
Shout out
Okay.
future.
Shout out.
Future husband, take note again.
Check kami doon.
Super check.
Betaw, sige, go.
Going back to the previous questions, Pangid, you can see that a person for me, Gid, is really attractive if the person is continually prioritizing God over all. I think that's a great example lang of how attractiveness works for me. How about you, Grace? Go, Grace.
I mean, JR, this is such an ambush because you know that the girl is like, but,
But
Hot
you
seat?
personally, Grace,
yeah,
what,
me personally.
since we are singles, of
Mm.
course, for you na lang, what makes a guy attractive to you? Did
I mean,
Mm.
I'm a little bit kind of killing just thinking about it, but I think for me, I
thinking
find
about it.
I find guys really attractive when I can really see their service to God. Like it's like so. Like, who is this guy? Like you can really see like because you can really imagine yourself like your future husband, if your future leading you to worship, leading you to pray, leading you to.
But we don't want to romanticize about this. It's
No.
just that, sorry to cut you off, Grace. Yeah.
okay.
You can explain about this. Yeah.
Obviously, okay. I'm gonna try to like bring back my train of thought. Pero I think the first one is like the service to God, and also the second one is like sense of humor. Yeah. If you know me, you can really relate.
Same, same.
Even if you're like boring, you just have to have that subtle kind of you, part of you like I can really vibe with.
Yeah.
So I think
sense of
service,
humor.
the service to God is like topmost because if I can really say like you're serving God, I think everything else will follow. Like
True.
imagine
true,
Matthew
true.
6:33, right? It said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and every other thing." So whatever it is, the sense of humor, the attractiveness, everything will follow. So
Yeah.
shout out again.
Yeah, but thinking about it,
Plug Monday today.
Legit advert.
you know,
What about you, Ate Jordan? What do you want to say
Ako,
about
I've
that?
always. It's been a while that I've been single. But
Blessed.
Blessed.
Hello.
Thank
Blessed.
you.
True.
So, I did ask those questions because somehow you want to be with somebody that you really like,
Yeah.
diba? And then it's already a non-negotiable that the guy should really love
Yeah.
the Lord. But other than that, what attracts me the most for a guy is that
Really?
Without, I like a guy who's like so into his craft. Like when I suddenly kikilig, suddenly blushing. Like I met someone, but I just had a crush on him, huh? But you know how I was really like very outstanded by how he works. So when a guy is like super like so into his craft, his work, very you would see the integrity involved in there and
It's competent.
how. Thank you for the word.
Very
yeah,
competent.
competent
Yeah.
and responsible, and how the people around him well, let's just say harmoniously work with him in a way
Mm.
that you could see that, oh, he's leading. Yeah. In a way also that a guy would really be very attractive if he's also serving the Lord. Yeah. So that's for me. And yes, Grace. Yes, with a sense of humor. Like totally.
In,
True.
yeah.
So that's it for me. Shout out. But
And then
also,
personality-wise, good. Like the best predictor of long-lasting relationships, good, is to have a partner who is competent. That's the most biggest predictor, good,
Wow.
for a long-lasting interpersonal relationships.
Competent.
It has been studied for many years ago, pa, and then it's still true to this day. So if you want to have a long-lasting relationship, a God-centered relationship, is to find someone who loves God first and who is competent.
yeah.
Could be in his work, could be his craft, not just like Ate Janine mentioned.
You would see.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would see it.
it's one of the best dating advices kid that is been proven to be highly effective. Kid.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
advice. So I'll take note.
This has been proven by studies na kid.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sige. Noted.
Noted. So I think we're down to our last question, and it's been really fun so far.
Yes.
It is.
I loved it. So chill. Sige,
The
what's the last question? Let's have Grace, please.
The last question is, when is the right time to be jealous?
Oh no. I can't.
Grace.
Wala akong ika-jealous.
As much as I would like to answer this question. Again, I'm single. But honestly, I'm just gonna talk as a single girl
Yeah.
who is open to be in a relationship someday.
Mm.
When is the right time to be jealous? Do you really have to have like a timeline to be jealous? Like,
Exactly.
and what? And the question is, what type of jealousy? Like, is it like jealous because I don't know? It's kind of like a general question.
I think jealousy really involves like when the attention that you wanted to have is being given by your special person to another person. Yeah, to another
person.
one. Yeah, and something like that. So it involves another person. For me, the jealousy thingy. But I think I like how you said, is there like a timeline for it?
True.
But I think a little jealousy in a way that's like, for me, is like dili ra jud kayo seryoso, but
True.
because I think for me, Manggod, you really don't have to be jealous if there's trust.
Yeah.
If there's trust, jud.
Probably there's like a kind of kilig kind of jealous. Like, for example,
I think that's romanticizing
Yeah.
again. Like when there's like a little bit of jealousy, it's like, ooh, it feels so good. I think it's
True.
It's romanticizing it again. So
Uh,
for me, I really don't. I think there shouldn't be like
honestly,
really jealousy at all.
Personally,
right?
for me, good. I think you need not to have jealousy good in relationships. I think if ever you have interpersonal relationships, is that you should, at most or at times, like remove yourself from any possible means for jealousy, just to
exactly
clear a path lang, like to
Yeah.
limit yourself lang with other, like to minimize the jealousy type.
True.
Diba?
True.
Because I think it's the best way siguro to have like to minimize or to lessen or even eradicate the issues for jealousy.
Yeah,
Is
I
to-
think.
yeah.
Sorry, Jr. I just remembered one thing from the couples that we have here in church, because we wanted to make sure that there wouldn't be any malice, for example, lang for a married, for a couple, like if a guy if the couple has a car, and then in a way, one way or another, like the one is sitting in front should always just be the
Wife or-
wife,
yeah.
nobody else.
Ah,
Something like that.
okay.
As what you had said, you wouldn't want to put
Yourself in a situation
In a
where
situation.
jealousy arises.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
That's-
yeah, so something like that.
Mm.
So I think it's again, just echoing what you had said,
Mm.
number one is that there shouldn't really be jealousy
Yeah.
at all, and you shouldn't really put yourself in a situation where the other person could feel that way.
True.
So there should be respect, there should be trust. Yeah.
Especially in our society nowadays, because I think people are like romanticizing jealousy na. And then to the point that it doesn't make sense at all,
It feels like it's being pa-cute-cute.
right?
Exactly. Like, is there like a killing we're of jealous? Because I feel like when they talk about jealousy, then that's like you're trying not to trust the person. Because one of like the most popular one is like, oh, maybe why did you like the post of someone on
Yeah.
Instagram? Why so like
Oh, yeah.
why are you still follow? Why do you have so many girls you're following in the context of the guys? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I don't know. For me, maybe when I get there, I'll try to like read it.
Let's ask you again and invite you over.
You know, like when I'm like, you know, taking, I'll come again and then maybe we can talk about jealousy. But right now, it's kind of like, oh, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think
what I
so.
thought so far. Like there shouldn't, the two involved shouldn't allow each of yourselves to be put into
Put in a
such
situation.
situation.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's it for all the questions.
Yay!
Wow! Thank you so much, JR, and
Thank you guys.
of
Thank you.
course our dear Olawafi Keme.
You got it.
I got it. Yeah, well, that's a wrap for today. I'll have JR to invite you
Yes.
to our social media and our service.
Yes, if you want more contents like this, you can subscribe to our social media platforms. We have one in YouTube, we have one in Spotify, we have one at Facebook. So it is at the PodPointe. That is ThePodPointe.
PodPointe.
PodPointe. And then if ever you are free, especially every Sundays, we also have our Sunday service. It's here at One Central Hotel. It is in 7th floor. The name of our church is Pointe Church, Cebu. All right.
All right. Thank you so much for that, JR. And thank you again, Grace,
Thank you,
for
Grace.
being with us. It's so much fun.
Welcome.
And see you in our next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.